Hey guys, HDvee here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got some pretty interesting things to go over because we have some new rumors for Pokemon Day 2024 next month. As well as that, we have some new rumors to go over for the Nintendo Switch 2. There's a lot of stuff to break down and get into today. So if you're excited for the video, as always, make sure to drop a like down below. It's trying to hit 500 likes, it does really help out. Leave a comment with your thoughts on the latest rumors. Subscribe if you're brand new, ring the notification bell. With all of that out of the way though, let's get into the video and I really hope that you enjoy. So, starting things off, let's take a look at the latest Pokemon Day 2024 rumors. So, of course, this is happening next month. This was posted on 4chan, so as always, take it with a massive grain of salt. There's not really a lot of information in this rumor, and honestly, like, rumors in the past that don't give us that much information tend to be more likely to be true than, like, when you've got, like, a whole backstory and a whole fan fiction going on and everything like that. Obviously, I'm not saying this is likely to be true. It's still very unlikely to be true, but there isn't a lot of information really to get into here. But they start things off by saying Pokemon Day 2024. It was posted on the 16th of January, and they say Pokemon Trading Card Game Classic Volume 2. Now, this is actually quite likely to be revealed on Pokemon Day, regardless of whether this is true or not, for two reasons. So the first one was last Pokemon Day. I'm pretty sure that we had Pokemon Trading Card Game Classic Volume 1 announced. It's basically that, like, really expensive kind of, I don't even know what it was, like a box or something, but you had, like, a special Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoise, like, base set card. You had, like, loads of decks, and then you also had, like, loads of other stuff as well. But it was, like, incredibly overpriced. It was, like, £400 or $400 or something like that. But obviously that was announced on a Pokemon Day, so obviously the next one could also get announced on this Pokemon Day. But as well as that, it is the 25th anniversary of Johto this year, and so it would make sense for them to bring out a lot of Johto merch, and so a Volume 2, which included cards of Typhlosion, Meganium, and Feraligatr, it would kind of make sense. It would kind of just be some extra merch that you could buy for the 25th anniversary of Johto. So whether this is true or not, I could very well see a Volume 2 of this Pokemon Trading Card Game Classic revealed next month on Pokemon Day. The next thing they go into detail about is Pokemon Unite. So Pokemon Unite is always got some new information about it on Pokemon Day, as well as Pokemon Masters and Pokemon Go and stuff like that. But we have some new characters apparently coming to the MOBA, and as well as that, we have a new limited time event. So Endless Rumble is a limited time event, so I have no idea what that is. In my opinion, it'd probably be some sort of like Horde mode, where maybe there's like a team of 5, and then you just have like a constant flurry of Pokemon coming out and you have to just like defend your team or something, which I think would be a really cool idea. I don't know if they would do that, but Endless Rumble, endless obviously means like an endless thing, so it could just be like endless waves of enemies or something like that. But hey, I don't know, that's just kind of what I think about it. And then some new characters that are apparently coming to Pokemon Unite are Crobat, Ranunculus, and Tyrantrum. So I could see all three of these being in Pokemon Unite. There's a lot of characters to choose from now in Pokemon Unite, and they always drop like 2 or 3 new ones on Pokemon Day. Not to play straight away, but they usually announce them. And so yeah, Crobat, Ranunculus, and Tyrantrum I think would be pretty cool options. So again, whether this is true or not, we're very likely to get some new Pokemon Unite characters on Pokemon Day anyway. They then go on to say, which I'm really hoping that this is true, Pokemon Colosseum Remastered on February the 27th. So February the 27th is Pokemon Day, so this would be a shadow drop of Pokemon Colosseum Remastered. That would be absolutely massive. It would make my year for Pokemon. I am a massive Pokemon Colosseum fan. Gales of Darkness, stuff like that. I have forever wanted a Pokemon Colosseum Remaster. Unfortunately, the company that made Pokemon Colosseum have since gone bust, which is why it's unlikely that we ever get another Pokemon Colosseum. But obviously, someone else could pick it up. Like, even Ilka could technically pick it up and just work on it. Not that they would, but, like, that is just something that, like, the company doesn't have to, that went bust, doesn't have to make the remake or the remaster or whatever. So, yeah, Pokemon Colosseum Remaster apparently coming to our consoles on February the 27th. That would honestly be the biggest kind of Pokemon Day reveal ever. I would absolutely love to see that. And I think that they should, obviously, just because it's what a lot of people want. And a lot of people weren't really lucky enough to play the original as well. Like, Pokemon Colosseum and Gales of Darkness are really expensive to buy now, because they just weren't that many copies going around. And as well as that, it is just a game that is completely different to what we are used to. Like, everything is a double battle. I know we had that in the Indigo Disc, but everything is a double battle. Shadow Pokemon debuted in Pokemon Colosseum, which are now in plenty of other games as well. We got them in like Pokemon Go and stuff like that. And it's actually a difficult game as well. Like, you couldn't catch wild Pokemon, you just had to steal other people's. But it was like a really cool, different kind of way to experience Pokemon, and I absolutely loved it, and I really, really hope they make a new version of it, or a remaster or something like that. And as well as that, I mean, they made a new Pokemon Snap like 20 years after Pokemon Snap came out, so anything is honestly possible. So yeah, hopefully this is true. I really want this to be true. Just whether this, you know, rumor is true or not, I would love a Pokemon Colosseum remaster. It's one of the things on my bucket list that I want to play like so badly. Like, the original is fine, but a remaster would just look so much better. Would like included new Pokemon and stuff, it'd be great. Anyway, that's that, which is apparently shadow dropping on Pokemon Day. And then as well as that, we're getting Pokemon Legends Ho-Oh on November the 21st. So a Pokemon Legends Johto game isn't necessarily unlikely. It's just, I think if there was going to be one, it would make a lot more sense for it to be based around Celebi than Ho-Oh, just simply because Celebi is the time travel Pokemon. Like, Ho-Oh would obviously be a cool kind of Legends game to kind of experience, and as well as that, you could see like the legendary beast, like that whole situation where Ho-Oh revives them and everything like that would be really, really cool. It's just, I mean, maybe Celebi time travels you back, but the game is based around Ho-Oh. Like, maybe that could be something that happens, which again would be really cool. But I don't know if you can have a Pokemon Legends Ho-Oh without a Pokemon Legends Lugia, because it's like gold and silver. So it's not like with Arceus, you obviously, you know, Arceus was a standalone Pokemon. He didn't have like a Legends Dialga or a Legends Palkia. It was just a Legends Arceus. So it makes sense to make it about the mythical. But yeah, I mean, Legends Johto being a Ho-Oh game, I mean, I'd love to see a Legends Johto game. I really, really enjoyed Legends Arceus. A lot of other people did as well. So we'll see what happens. But that's all there really is to go over this rumor. Like I say, there's not a lot of information, but a lot of it I can actually see happening, especially the first two parts, like the Trading Game Classic Volume 2, I definitely think that's going to happen just for the 25th anniversary of Johto. The Unite stuff, definitely going to happen. Whether we get those characters in that limited time event, not really too sure about that, but we will get some Unite stuff. I mean, Pokemon Colosseum and Legends Johto, I would be absolutely fine. If both of those games came out this year, that would be absolutely fine by me, because I'll know I'll enjoy Colosseum, and I really enjoyed Arceus, Legends Arceus, so I'm sure I'll enjoy Legends Johto. But anyway, that is the rumor for Pokemon Day 2024. Let me know your thoughts on it. Of course, we don't have to wait too long until this comes out, because we are literally a month away. So yeah, really excited though if this is turning out to be true. But anyway, that is the rumor stuff for Pokemon Day 2024. Let's move on to some Nintendo Switch 2 rumors, and we have another game that is apparently being worked on for the Nintendo Switch 2. As I say, there's a lot of stuff that's in the kind of pipeline now. There's Bayonetta trilogy, there's Persona, there's Mario, there's another game as well, and now potentially Star Fox as well is also being worked on for the Nintendo Switch 2. So this was posted by WWG. Let's take a look at the article here. So, new Star Fox game rumored to be releasing for Nintendo Switch 2. Star Fox's first new entry since 2016 could come to the Switch 2. So that's 7 years ago since we had Star Fox. As well as that, it's been 7 years since we had a 3D Mario game as well. So if we're getting a 3D Mario game for the Nintendo Switch 2, it'd be cool to see a Star Fox as well. I mean, 7 years is a very long time. If you are an avid Star Fox enjoyer, you'd be pretty pissed that you hadn't had a new game in 7 years. But anyway, a new rumor has indicated that Nintendo is developing its first new Star Fox game in nearly a decade that should release for the successor to the Switch. At this point in time, the Star Fox series has been on ice for a prolonged number of years. The latest entry in the franchise, Star Fox Zero, launched in 2016 for the Wii U to mixed reviews from both fans and critics. Now, after this lengthy period between releases, it seems as though Star Fox could be returning with a new adventure on the Switch 2. So according to new details from Zippo, who is an insider that has shared accurate information previously for Nintendo obviously, a new Star Fox installment is in the works and will launch at some point within the next 12 months. So not necessarily going to be coming out this year, but in the next 12 months from now. So obviously next January. It'd probably come out this year, but yeah, like next like 12 months from now, we will likely see a new Star Fox game. The rumor goes on to claim that this Star Fox title will be a sequel to a previous entry in the series, and that it's set to feature a major focus on online multiplayer. I think that'd be really cool, like if you had like spaceship battles and stuff in Star Fox, but as well as that you had like I I don't know, they should just make like a massive multiplayer. Yeah, I think a Star Fox multiplayer game would be sick. It's also said that Nintendo is working on this game in-house for the first time since Star Fox 64 and will come to Nintendo Switch 2. To back up these claims, Zippo has happened to note that some recent happenings with Nintendo point to a Star Fox revival. For starters, Nintendo filed a new trademark for Star Fox this past month in Brazil. In tandem with this, some data within the files of 2022's Nintendo Switch Sports also happened to mention Star Fox. Neither of these instances necessarily guarantees that a new Star Fox game is in the pipeline, but they're definitely intriguing and are worth keeping in mind. Obviously, given that this is just a rumor, take everything with a grain of salt for the time being. Nintendo itself has yet to even confirm that it's gearing up to release the Switch 2 in the near future, let alone any games for it. Still, if previous reports and rumors end up planning out, it seems like it won't take much longer to learn more about what Nintendo has in store for its next console. So, yeah, as I said, there's quite a few games now that have legitimate rumors about them. As I say, Star Fox, 3D open world Mario, there's also Persona 3 Reloaded, there's also Bayonetta Trilogy, there's one other one as well. I think it might be Monster Hunter or Dragon Quest or something like that. But they are starting to tot up, and yeah, I'm assuming that when this Switch 2 console is revealed, a couple of these games may also be revealed with it. Whether that's in the next Nintendo Direct or not, I'm not too sure, but we have had leakers say that it should be revealed by the end of March, so whether that is in the next Direct, we'll have to wait and see. But either way, it's getting more exciting about the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm excited for it to get announced, and it hopefully won't be that long. So this is posted on 4chan, so of course take it with a massive grain of salt. There are people that use 4chan that actually know information about Pokemon, but it is very, very unlikely that somebody with the knowledge up to 2028 would post that on 4chan, because I'm assuming there is a timeline at Game Freak where they probably know what they're going to do over the next 5 years, but that you kind of have to be very high up at Game Freak to know that. I don't know, maybe this person is like related to somebody. It's very unlikely, but either way, they say that in 2024 we're going to be getting Pokemon Integral Black and Perfect White. So basically they say what we're going to get in each year, and then they also give a little bit of information about that game. So Pokemon Integral Black and Perfect White advertised as what Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl were, extremely faithful to the original Black and White. So even if this is false, which again it most likely is, we very well could get a faithful Pokemon remake this year, which is very like Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and that's because of two reasons. So we had Riddler-Koo, who of course is the main leaker in the community. He posted a comment saying like original, super original flavor, and the only way that that can get translated in this kind of context is in a way that means faithful remake or faithful game. So he said that. He hasn't said that is the next Pokemon game. He has just said faithful remake or faithful game at some point. As well as that though, he did post a picture of the Indigo disc with all of the characters, saying that one of the characters unlocks the key to the lore of the DLC, and as well as that, they're a massive hint towards the next Pokemon game. That has since been confirmed to be Drayton, who of course is the grandson of Drayden, one of the main Generation 5 characters. So we have literally got Riddler-Koo here saying that, you know, Drayden is a massive, or Drayton should I say, is a massive hint towards the next Pokemon game. So that could be the same thing. So that game that he's talking about with the Drayton relation could also be the Faithful remake. It could be completely different as well. It could be Black and White 3, and then the Faithful remake could be Johto. He hasn't said what game the Faithful remake is of. That could literally be for anything. It could be Mystery Dungeon, it could be Pokemon Ranger. He hasn't applied context to that Faithful thing. He's just said Faithful game, Faithful remake. So that could be anything. It could be Black and White, but it could be anything. But this person here is saying that we are going to be getting faithful remakes of Pokemon Black and White. They then go on to say that is not what they may ultimately be. Instead, the story going in a direction with the same plot, the same characters, and then they go on to say the same world, but different themes and a different conclusion to the original. So it's definitely not a faithful remake if it has a different conclusion to the original. A faithful remake is where it's the exact same game, just like Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl were, but then they obviously, they add a couple of things in as well, like obviously we got the Romana's Park and stuff like that, but the storyline stays the same. It wouldn't be a faithful remake if they literally changed the conclusion to the story. It's a completely different game if the story's different. So yeah, I mean, they're already contradicting themselves already with that, but either way, if this is false, we could still get faithful remakes of Pokemon Black and White. But at the same time, it could be Johto, it could be a spin-off game, we don't know. I wouldn't worry too much about this faithfulness thing that he did say, because, again, that could be applied to anything. Anyway, that is apparently 2024. 2025, we're getting Pokemon Legends Genesect. So, Legends Genesect takes place in a post-catastrophe Unova region, explicitly a parallel dimension to the Unova from the original Black and White. So, this is what, like, people would expect Black and White 3 to kind of follow. At the same time, it is the 15th anniversary of Pokemon Black and White next year, so if they did a Black and White 3, then, again, we've already spoken about this in a previous video, then it could be cool if a Black and White 3 was set 15 years after the events of Pokemon Black and White. You know, Black and White 2 was set, like, 2-3 events after Pokemon Black and White, years-wise. So, yeah, Black and White 3, 15 years in the future could be really cool, and it would kind of be really chronological as well, being 15 years after the actual game came out. But obviously a Legends Genesect, usually you'd expect a Legends game to be taking place in the past, but this is talking about a post-catastrophe Unova region. So this is where a Unova region has been destroyed in a parallel kind of like dimension. So whether Legends games start being like in the future or not, I'm not sure. I feel like it'd be better if Legends were just kept to like previous, or like not prehistoric, but like a, you know, a previous state of that region. I don't think they need to really be futuristic and stuff, because Legends, like when you talk about a legend, it is something that, you know, has happened a while ago. So I wouldn't really describe a legend to be something in the future, you know, I don't know. But anyway, that's apparently 2025. In 2026, we're getting Project Bloom. So I'm assuming that's like a code name, just how we got code names for the Indigo Disc and obviously Teal Mask and Scarlet and Violet, etc, etc. But they then go on to say, play as a... Oh no, this is... Yeah, okay, so this is still stuff about Genesect, so sorry, my bad. So play as a young cadet similar to the protagonist of Black and White 2, 14 Plasma, who is trying to rebuild Unova, conflicted by a resistance group who, you know, reject the former modern Unova, believing it to be a plague onto the relationship between human and Pokemon. They then go on to say, you fight against the resistance group, taking their territory and resources to build satiety. Meanwhile, Team Plasma is working on reviving an ancient Pokemon. This sounds completely like a fan-made game or some sort of like spin-off game or something like that. You're like fighting a resistance group, taking territories, and yeah, I don't know about this one. That sounds very, very fan-made and very made up. I don't know why a Legends game would be... That's just no point of calling it Legends Genesect. It's completely different. It's set in the future. You play as the evil team. You're also trying to take out the resistance group. Yeah, really, really weird take there. I don't know. I feel like if you're going to come up with a rumor, it has to be a lot better than that. But anyway, that's apparently what we're going to get in 2025. Moving on to Project Bloom. So this is, like I say, I'm assuming a code name. So Project Bloom could be revealed on Pokemon Day. I highly doubt they're going to be revealing something next month in February on Pokemon Day for 2026. I highly, highly, highly doubt that. The only time they've ever announced anything that's come out a lot later was like Detective Pikachu 2 and Pokemon Sleep, but that wasn't by choice. Like, they obviously messed up a lot then, because obviously I think Detective Pikachu 2 was announced in like 2018 and came out in like 2022 or 2023 or whatever. So yeah, that was obviously a massive gap, but again, that wasn't by choice. So yeah, they're saying this could be revealed on Pokemon Day in place of any Pokemon announcements. Again, very, very unlikely. Project Bloom and Pokemon Generation 10 are closely tied in terms of themes from Legends Genesect, but will have absolutely nothing to do with one another. So the themes of Legends Genesect was working for the evil team, set in the future, taking on the resistance, and apparently Project Bloom and Generation 10 are going to have tied in terms of themes, so apparently they're going to have themes about that. I don't know, it sounds really bad at the moment. Project Bloom could be an evolution in Game Freak's game design philosophy, the game itself being the culmination of what Pokemon meant to Game Freak internally rather than externally, with a heavy focus on an environmentalist message. Really, really just completely off topic to what Pokemon even is. And again, 2026 is most likely when Generation 10 is coming out anyway, so if anything, Project Bloom would just be the code name for Generation 10. But yeah, very, very unlikely to happen there. And then in 2027, apparently we're getting nothing. So that's just a wrap. Like, absolutely nothing Pokemon related. No spin-off games, no main series games, nothing like that. No remakes is happening in 2027. So, you know, whenever that year rolls around, apparently, according to this, you know, we're going to have nothing to play that year. And then in 2028, they say Pokemon Generation 10 reveal. So Gen 10 of Pokemon will be the ultimate next step and natural evolution of Game Freak's game design philosophy. So straight off the bat, they've got their years wrong. Like, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet came out in 2022. There's no way there'd be a 6-year gap between Gen 9 and Gen 10. The most we've ever had, I think, is like 3-year gap between generations. So why this would be double makes absolutely no sense, especially because the year before had nothing. Like, it just makes absolutely no sense. And as well as that, we're going to have the Nintendo Switch 2 this year. So does that mean that like none of these games are going to be on that until Gen 10 comes out? This generally could be the worst rumor. Like, they've done absolutely no research into anything in terms of like Pokemon release schedules or anything like that. Like, yeah, we may get a faithful remake of Black and White this year, but that doesn't mean that this is true. There's no way I believe we're going to get a Legends Genesect where you play as the evil team. Project Bloom, they just don't even give any information about. They just literally say it's an evolution in Game Freak's game design philosophy. It's going to be linked to Legends Genesect, and it's going to be linked to like Gen 10, and that's it. You know, they don't go into detail about the region, the Pokemon, anything like that. And then Gen 10 is apparently coming out in 2028 after a gap in 2027. Sounds very, very unlikely, but always fun to go over, always food for thought. Again, these rumors always tend to be false, but at the same time, it kind of creates a discussion, and you can kind of always go off on like different things that could happen from just these like false rumors and stuff like that. But anyway, I think this is completely false. This is really, really badly put together. Whoever made this up, you know, they definitely need to go and do a little bit of research to make it a little bit believable. But anyway, I'm calling massive BS on this. But either way, let me know your thoughts on it. If you enjoyed the video though, drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes. It does really help out. Leave a comment. Would you like any of this to be true? Would you like a faithful remake of Black and White? I don't think anybody would. Would you like Legends Genesect set in the future where you play as Evil Team? I think they should make a game where you play as Evil Team, but it should be like a spin-off game. I don't think it should be like a main series game. We've had loads of fan games and ROM hacks and stuff where you can do that, but it would be cool if Pokemon themselves did it. And then Project Bloom, no idea, nothing in 2027. And then, yeah, 2028, Pokemon Gen 10 reveal. I don't know, it sounds completely BS. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on all that. Subscribe if you're brand new, ring the notification bell. It's everything from me. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and until next time, peace.